Doctors in all parts of the country were asked, "What cigarette do you smoke, doctor?" Once again, the brand named most was Camel. Yes, according to this repeated nationwide survey, more doctors smoke Camels than any other cigarette.
What if I told you that doctors recommended cigarettes to their patients?
Have a Camel with your coffee. Thanks.
And not just any cigarettes. Doctors preferred Camels over any cigarettes. And yes, this actually happened. In this video, we'll unpack how Camel brainwashed Americans to believe smoking was healthy. And we reveal the most important reason why you should never believe any medical claims in advertisements. So let's get into the story. So Camel's rise began in 1913 with a bold and mysterious teaser campaign that said, "The Camels are coming," sparking nationwide curiosity. Once it was announced they were cigarettes, Camel emphasized its Turkish tobacco blend, tapping into their public's fascination with the exotic East and edging out their biggest competitor at the time, Lucky Strike. By the 1930s, they shifted to enjoyment-focused claims, promoting smoothness and mild flavor.
Among the many stars of opera, stage, and screen who are Camel smokers is Miss Ann Sothern.
On stage and screen and radio, Ann Sothern is a star. She's chosen Camels 'cause she knows how mild Camels are.
Camels, smoke Camels, and see how mild a cigarette can be.
Whenever Billy Cox of the Dodgers packs for a picnic, a carton of Camels goes into the basket. He goes for that cool Camel mildness and Camel's rich flavor. Let's hear what Billy has to say.
I get more pleasure out of Camels than I ever got from any other cigarette.
Folks, Billy Cox is just one of many big league baseball stars who smokes Camels. Like millions of fans, they've discovered how mild and good tasting a cigarette can be. Try Camels yourself in your T-zone. That's T for throat and T for taste. You'll see why, after all the mildness tests, Camel is America's most popular cigarette by billions.
But the winds started to change as public concern over coughing and throat irritation grew. Camel's executives quickly took notice. Was their product truly causing problems? And that was a big question. And Camel, they hit the answer, choosing to offer reassurance rather than transparency.
Make the Camel 30-day mildness test, and you'll know how mild a cigarette can be. Camels are so mild that in a recent test of hundreds of people who smoked only Camels for 30 days, noted throat specialists making weekly examinations reported not one single case of throat irritation due to smoking Camels. But test Camels yourself in your T-zone. See if you don't agree that Camels are the mildest, best-tasting cigarettes you ever smoked.
Now let's get into the shady, health-focused campaign. They played it smooth at the smart, subtle, sneaky. Camel tried to cover the irritation narrative with health benefits by running ads that claim smoking, get this, helped digestion. Yes, they said that. For your digestion's sake, smoke Camels. This campaign insisted cigarettes soothe the throat and boosted alkalinity because apparently smoke was the new salad. Backed by flimsy studios and paid endorsements, the brand pitched cigarettes as a kind of health tonic. One ad suggested that hostesses should offer the cigarettes to their dinner guests between courses. Still, behind the scenes, medical concerns continued growing. American researchers like Dr. Oshner began to publish studies showing that smoking could cause lung cancer. So what did Camel do? It doubled down. No way were the executives going to lose all this profit, no matter the risk to the public. That's just crazy talk. So, with pure desperation, by the early 1940s, the owner of Camel, R.J. Reynolds, dropped the cover-up. The company went from whispering health perks to shouting doctor-approved endorsements.
How often does your job call you out of bed in the middle of the night? Well, if you were a doctor, it would be often. And generally, there isn't much time to spare.
Coffee, Doctor?
Oh, fine. Have a Camel with your coffee. Thanks. You know, this night work's kind of rough, isn't it? That's right. But a Camel's always a pleasure.
Yes, folks, the pleasing mildness of a Camel is just as enjoyable to a doctor as it is to you or me.
The message? Doctors smoke Camels. Doctors trust Camels, as you can see in this ad. It was everywhere. It was in spreads and radio spots and medical journals. And the journal reported a finding from, get this, the Center for the Study of Tobacco and Society, whatever the hell that was, that not one single case of throat irritation was due to smoking Camels. And the imagery, white coats, medical devices, confident smiles, like your trusted family physician was personally endorsing your next puff.
Make the one sensible cigarette test. Make your own 30-day Camel mildness test in your T-zone. Smoke only Camels for 30 days. Enjoy Camel's rich, full flavor. And see how well Camels agree with your throat. Pack after pack, week after week.
Wild, right? But here's the kicker. Most of these doctors were actors. And in the survey behind the claim, this was a joke. The owner of Camel, you know what he did? He gave out free cartons of Camel at medical conventions. Then when doctors were asked what was their favorite brand, surprise, they're gonna choose the one that was free. And that's how they got their flashy report that doctors chose Camel.
Yes, folks, the pleasing mildness of a Camel is just as enjoyable to a doctor as it is to you or me. In a nationwide survey, doctors in all branches of medicine were asked, "What cigarette do you smoke, doctor?" The brand named most was Camels. Tens of thousands of doctors, general practitioners, surgeons, specialists, doctors in every branch of medicine were included. And according to this nationwide survey, more doctors smoke Camels than any other cigarette. Try Camels yourself, the cigarette so many doctors enjoy.
No science, no ethics, just marketing dressed up as medicine. At this point, Camel was the top-selling cigarette brand in the country. And get a load of this, Camel actually created and sponsored a pop culture weekly show, which contributed greatly to their winning sales. During the golden age of radio, the retro podcast, as someone might say, the company launched Camel Caravan, a star-packed variety show that ran from 1933 to 1954, featuring swing legend Benny Goodman and comedy icons like Abbott and Costello.
Camels never get on your nerves. Gangway neighbor, here comes the Camel Caravan again through the courtesy of R.J. Reynolds Tobacco Company, makers of Camel Cigarettes.
For Gen Z and millennials, it's like imagine a weekly show starring Bruno Mars and Dave Chappelle, fully sponsored by a cigarette brand. Camel used this show to blur entertainment with advertising, promoting cigarettes while ignoring growing health risks. With few warnings and a strong public trust, Camel Caravan made smoking look stylish and fun, convincing millions to start smoking without knowing the danger. So within 15 years, however, the dangerous, misleading ads finally came to a halt. In 1951, the Federal Trade Commission stepped in with a cease and desist order. And they were telling R.J. Reynolds, like, look, this all needs to stop. We're putting a ban on all these Camel ads and all these ridiculous benefits, like it helps with your digestion, that it calms your nerves, and they even said that it improves your athletic performance. Yeah, that was a selling point. FT's message was blunt. Cigarettes don't help your body. They hurt it. One of the three major studies at the time established a link between smoking and the risk of death from lung cancer. Camel's wellness fantasy had officially gone up in smoke. To be fair though, one cigarette company made the same play for sales, using doctory ads. So the jig was up from them. Or was it? Since the public became increasingly aware of the health and cancer risk, Camel shifted its marketing to tap into masculinity and cool ruggedness.
My job's a good one. My cigarette, a real one. Camel. With Camel, you get no fads, no fancy stuff. Camel's real taste satisfies longer.
Camel's real taste satisfies longer. Camel's real taste satisfies longer. Camel's real taste satisfies longer. Have a Camel cigarette.
I'd walk a mile for a Camel.
By the 2000s, bans from Nixon's era and a massive legal settlement killed all their advertising, TV, radio, billboard, even event ads. The brand then shifted to its simple packaging. The bold, flashy campaigns of the past faded to a more controlled, regulated strategy. But Camels, they're still around. And so is Lucky Strike and a bunch of others. But now they have a Surgeon General warning on all of their ads, including their website. So as we wrap up this story, it's crazy to know that Camel once claimed doctors backed their cigarettes, and now they're regulated. And it's proof that slick branding can still deceive. So it's a big, important question that now when you watch ads and you see all these medical benefits, don't believe them. Always be critical of what is being told to you. And it's the same thing like we saw with vapes when they were saying that it's healthier than cigarettes. Well, that was bullshit. That was a whole lie. So never trust what's on TV or any medical claims. Do your own research because it's all propaganda. At the end of the day, you're your best agent for your health. So what do you think of this story? And also of any current medical advertisement claims that are out there? Drop your comments in the story and follow for more advertising history.